League and its board of directors. I'm joined here with Shine Tenorio and myself, Jay Santos. And we're pleased to finally announce the manager for our NMI men's national team, men's baseball national baseball team, Mr. Jay Quinto. So been a long time. There's our other board director, but I think he's wearing his other hat today. Should we hold off?
Shoot.
So this has been a long time coming, and in my conversations with Mr. Quinto, I was always been very apologetic. We were hoping to get this process done much sooner, but we're here. As everybody knows, the games are in late June. And so this young man's going to have his work cut out for him. Strong baseball background, strong baseball family. As many of you know, Jake has been a part of CNMI baseball, Little League, juniors, seniors, for well over 20 years. And we're not going to reveal his age today, but that's only because it's going to make me feel that much older. But I couldn't be happier, and the board as well, that he's accepted this challenge. As everybody knows, we are going to be defending the gold medal in this year's mini games, so there is going to be a huge expectation from him and the team to bring the gold back to the CNMI. We've made the decision, like we have with the last manager and his staff, that Jay's going to have full responsibility and full decision on his coaching staff. The coaching staff will be announced as well. It'll be forthcoming as well, and we'll make sure we get with you guys in the media to announce a full coach staff to include his roster. The board will not be in the decision process specific to his roster. And that's the kind of confidence that we have in Jay and in putting together a championship team and again bringing the gold back to the CNMI. A lot of moving parts going on because this young man's going to try to get the Saipan Major League going on April 7th. So we're going to have to work out a lot of schedules. The team that Jay puts together will be competing in the league as well, and on the side also practicing and preparing for the mini games. So it's going to be a busy few months for this young man and for this young man, but I don't think there's anybody better right now that we could task for this huge challenge. Saipan Baseball will continue to just play an administrative role in making sure that Jay and his coaching staff have what they need to be prepared for the games. And like I already said, it'll be Jay's decision to put the roster together and also get the team ready. I did forget to point out that Jay also played ball in the States in the state of Oregon. I'm sorry, Jay, I forgot the name of the school. But it's one of those things too where it makes me happy, it makes me proud to see guys like him and other guys, his peers and guys before him and after him that had the opportunity to play baseball in the States. And it's something that with the reinvigoration of baseball here in the community, we're looking to really see what we can do to put programs together to get the current young players that have opportunities to also not play for our national team, but also play baseball in the States as well. So with that, I'm going to open the floor for Jay to say a few things, and then we'll have some Q&A for you guys, and let you get back to your basketball game.
First off, to start off by saying thank you to Jay, the board members, for number one, the opportunity for this experience, and then number two, more importantly, is the experience itself. To do the best I can, in forming 20 guys for the baseball roster, and kind of do what they did back in 2022, which is, the prize here, gold medal. That is the plan. Like Jay had said, the games are coming up here shortly. So we're going to do everything we can with the time that we're given. And I think with the coaches that we're going to be putting together, if I may add, we already actually selected a head coach. We met with Jay yesterday. Louis Igbo Jr. Well known to the baseball community here. He too is putting his time, coming up with the league program through the Saipan Baseball League, even representing Team Sinamay, whether it's the mini games or the micro games. So I'm very confident with having Jun on board. We're going to be working closely together to figure out the two coaches that we're looking at. We just got word that we're going to be allowed to bring 4 coaches down to Palau. So that's a big plus. We're excited for that. Again, excited for the opportunity, and a big thank you to Jay and the board, and for giving me this great chance to bring the gold medal to head over to Palau, and with 20 guys and 4 coaches, bring back what we had in 2022, defend that spot.
Great. Thank you, Jay. Shannon, is there anything you wanted to add? No? I'd like to open the floor then to Q&A for you guys.
You've got 4 weeks to go before the season starts.
Yes.
So have you already started thinking of who you're going to get for your players? Are you holding practices, tryouts?
There's that part, right? We only had our first initial meeting yesterday between Jay, myself, and head coach Louis Igbo. That initial meeting is going to set the next 2 weeks for us, because we plan on meeting again here in 2 weeks. We are hoping, no, we're going to have a team by then. I know we're going to have a team in 2 weeks. We'll have a full coaching staff with the team. Now, there's a few factors here in selecting the team. I think one of the major factors here is we're traveling off island. We're not hosting this year. So passports are going to play a big part. I think that's going to play a major part, right? Obviously, we want guys, the guys that we select, we want them on board, but if passports, play a factor here, they might not be able to come with us. The selection process, I got to sit down, with Louis. First have to select the 2 coaches. That's the first step. From there, we'll meet with the board, we'll get rosters, stats for the previous year, and go from there. Go through the filtering process and make some phone calls, and hopefully, again, we'll have a team here in 2 weeks.
Are you considering off-island players, the people who are from here but just happen to be off-island?
That was brought up again in our meeting last night. We'll consider it. That's the least we can do is consider the other players who are interested in coming down. The big factor there is going to be what the coaches want. Ultimately, it's going to come down to the head coach himself. But their input is going to be big.
A lot of things that were going on back in 22 that are different now than was then, and there's no secret, budget-wise and economy-wise, and the fact that the CNMI was hosting the mini games then, it was all or nothing, and there's no question we did everything we had to do to ensure that we had successful teams, and if that meant bringing guys from off island, and not only for baseball but for other sports as well, that was done. And big props to the guys that organized that back then, but it's a different story now. And we did have a discussion about that briefly, and again, it all goes back to Jay, and if that's something that he wants to do, that's entirely up to him. But it's going to have to be in the context of maybe these guys being able to foot their own fare to get here to Saipan, and of course, the CNMI taking care of the rest to get to Palau. One thing I shared with Jay is there are a couple of guys that have been very successful that are in school in the States now that are from here, and they're raking. They're playing very great baseball, and their season just started. It's not to name any names right now, but you know, one thing I'd like to see if we could bring them, if that's a possibility, is to also showcase them and show the young kids that if your dream is to play baseball and if that dream is to also play baseball in the States, then that's very possible. So there's a lot of, like I said earlier, moving parts and stuff, but I'm pretty optimistic here in the next 30 days or so we'll have a lot of these decisions made.
So how confident are you guys in making the team within like 3 months or less, and to have everything together, you know, practice time, chemistry wise? How confident are you guys?
As far as getting a team together, very confident. I believe in the talent that we have on this island. You know, the staff that we're going to be putting together, the coaching staff with the talent that we have. I am very optimistic about you know, our chances of Palau. You know, obviously, Palau and Guam are going to put good teams out, but it's going to be up to us coaches to get this team going. You know, and give it our best. And again, very optimistic.
We have the last games to compare with, and previous to that, we went a good 3 years, 4 years without baseball on the island. So the only choice we had at that time was a tryout. And I mean, our first day of tryouts, I think we had 40, 50 guys out, and Coach Manny, or Manager Manny at the time, was definitely scratching. It was a very, very difficult process. Fortunately for us now, we've got 2 seasons under our belt. People are back. You know, the boys are back at it. They're back at going. You know, we just completed the season last. Was it August, September? So people are still pretty much in baseball shape and still practicing and still hitting and stuff like that. So yeah, I think for sure. Very, very confident that our manager, Jay Quinto, will be able to put a very, very competitive team together.
You know, right now, as we speak, actually, I'm sure there's teams in the SBL Open League that are practicing. You know, getting their guys in baseball form. So that's a big plus going into the selection process. You know, we know that they're getting warmed up. The season's maybe a month away. I don't know the exact date, but it's nice to know that they're getting into baseball form.
Do you guys have a set date when you guys will have the set roster ready?
No, what we have though is we're working on specific plans right now in terms of equipment that's going to be needed. You know, a lot of the stuff that was here during the previous mini games was either lost or stolen. So we need to figure out what he's going to need for his practice, and then putting a practice schedule together that's going to work in unison with the one big field that we have. The one big field that we have that's going to probably be shared with. We're looking at possibly well over 12 major league teams. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge, but you know, I asked Manager Jade if we can put some effort right now in putting the planning process together. When the scheduled practices are going to be, what are you going to need? What kind of equipment you're going to need? That way we can put that all together so when he turns on the practice switch, they're ready to go.
Yeah.
Has Northern Mariana Sports Association given you an idea of what you can expect in terms of support financially?
We haven't yet. I think for the most part too, they're kind of waiting on us to kind of get all our ducks in order. And our next move is definitely to get with Rosalind and her team and figuring out how they can assist us. I know there's still some leftover stuff from the 22 games that they can turn over to us and we can hopefully use. But you know, it's again in my discussions with Jay yesterday is let us take care of all that administrative and all that planning stuff, and we focus on getting the team together. And our goal is when he says, like I said, we want to start on this date, we've got everything ready for him to get going.
So you guys are defending champs, right? So what's your approach going into the mini games? Are you planning to stick with a similar lineup or a similar strategy?
Well, a few factors here, right? Number one, I reached out to the board, right, if I can get stats and rosters from the previous season, and even a roster from back in 2022. Right? I've been pretty active, as a head coach for the Open League here. I have an idea of the players and who's been on the field, who's been off the field, so that'll factor in. For the most part, though, it's going to come down to a lot of what myself, Coach Louis, and the two coaches, right? Their input is going to be major here. Ultimately, it's going to factor into myself, head coach Louis. But then again, their information is going to play a major part.
So you said you're going to have a roster of 20?
Roster of 20.
So
yes.
How many pitchers do you think you're going to bring with you?
I'd like to bring 5 to 6 pitcher from me. And then I know that we have a few pitcher/position players on island. And yeah, how many of that? We don't know that number yet, but we'll get there.
Austin,
Yes, sir.
with Next Level, just wanted to ask. So I know that you have some history pitching in a national for CMI.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll be like a player coach for our national team?
I'm gonna dedicate my time to managing the guys and coaching the guys. Right. We'll let the roster of 20 step on the field. Yeah.
Thank you.
This question is like specific to players, and 3 years in baseball is a long time. Specific to the roster that we had in 22 and the roster that he's going to put together. So I know there are actually a few players that were on that roster in 22 that are no longer on island. And at the same time, there were a lot of youngins, late teen guys, mid-teen guys, early 20 guys that were just up and coming that have had a couple of years under their belt. So it'll be interesting what team this guy puts together. But I'm sorry I keep repeating myself, but I don't think there's a better guy for the job to be able to find a team that not only going to gel together, but also put in the effort that we need to bring the ball back. So.
And if I may add, that just goes back to the conversations that we've had with the board, whether it's a week or 2 weeks back, and their support the process and their support going into the process, right, has been great. Very thankful. It's greatly appreciated, and looking forward to stepping to the back.
I know this is more about the team, but with regards to the officiating for the games, is the CNMI responsible for sending an umpire or two?
I believe so. Do you want to go ahead?
We've been working with the Saipan Umpires Association, so I think most delegations would bring officiating with them, and it'd be a good gesture for us to at least send one down, maybe hopefully 2 if we can. So the board will make sure we'll take those into consideration.
And historically, like you said, historically it's been done. Even as recently as the U12 tournament that we, Saipan Baseball League sent a team down to Guam, but we also sent an umpire. And that was a WBSC sanctioned event. I don't know, WBSC isn't sanctioning these mini games, but they are involved because there are members that are going to be attending this baseball tournament. So, if they need help with officiating, we're glad to turn that mic over to Tony Rogo.
So we're going to take a break from the season for a couple of weeks when the majors start up?
We haven't gone to that part yet, but most likely, yeah. We're currently working on, we're trying to get the season rolling in April. We have a target date for the 7th. It might be pushed back, depends. We had a different approach that we were looking at, but now I guess we kind of hashed out with the games now with our selection of our coach and our manager and our head coach. So it makes it a little easier for us now to decide an opening. And like I said, we were trying for April 7th. That's still the target date. So we're hopefully going to have a meeting soon with all of the prospective teams for the 25 season. It's looking like a lot. Just from our first meeting, we probably have 13 teams. It's looking like it might be more now, so it really depends on. It's 13 teams is a lot, so it's going to run down a long season. So we still got to figure out some stuff from on our end in regards to the season. But we are in the season.
Hey Jay, real quick, just for your thought process about pulling that team together. I know you said that the team is going to be in the league.
Yeah.
Would it be beneficial to your team if you're looking at taking 6 pitchers only to maybe let them play on some other teams just so they can maybe get more work in the season building up to?
Well, the
this game?
pitchers, I'm pretty sure the pitchers that are going to be selected are already going to be playing for their own, respective teams. So there's that part too. My understanding of the approach moving into the season is with the players on the team, that player happens to be playing his own team. That individual player or multiple players plays for their own team against the NMI team, right? We'll at least give them that.
Got it.
And how their coach wants to approach it, we'll have conversations with your coaches, and
We'll work with them on our end, on the
Yeah.
board, on how we can incorporate the team into the league.
And right now, it's not set to where the national team will be in the league and they will be competing against
So it's just a bit
them.
of-
Right now, it's just going to be all the players that's going to be on that roster will play with their respective teams in the league. Ideally, hopefully, late May, early June, we can get some scrimmages going. Maybe the league will take a little bit of a break and we can put some focus into these guys and have a couple of scrimmages, but it's a little early in the game for that, but there's no question. I mean, I personally would have loved to have seen the national team compete in this league against everybody else. I don't think there would have been a better way to prepare this team for that tournament, but it's not going to happen. A lot of the boys love to play with their own guys, whether it's the Dodgers or the Padres or the Cardinals or what have you. So we'll let that we'll leave that be. But hopefully again in between there'll be some a number of scrimmages and a number of games against the existing teams in the league versus the national team that'll prepare them leading up to the league games.
And if you have any questions in regards to the league, you can check Kyle at Next Level. He's our league coordinator.
His number is 8675309.
So we'll have something out in regards to the league here by next week. So we are gonna have 25 seasons, and we'll get more details by next week.
And just for that, maybe a good idea, can we start like a media and league baseball chat or something on
Sure.
WhatsApp so everybody
We can get something going.
Yeah.
But our league coordinator is Kyle, and if you have any questions, you can contact him.
And one thing I will assure you guys is we're going to be having a number of these leading up to put the roster together. Once we have the full coaching staff set, we'll call you guys, and maybe it won't be in this setting. Maybe we'll just be out in the field and we'll introduce the coaching staff. But we want to keep the community involved, and we want to make sure that more importantly for us, that our kids that are going to be playing Little League Baseball pretty soon, and juniors and seniors will see that there is a future for baseball here in the CMI, and that if they keep busting their butts, they too also one day can play on a national team and travel to different areas, like we used to back in the day. And with baseball, and Brad, you've been around a long time, and Lee and James, you guys know baseball was it back in. It was the sport back in the day. Nothing against soccer and basketball and badminton and all those other guys, but the kids want baseball. And we're gonna bring it back, and we're gonna be open about this entire process, and we're hopeful that you guys will help us share it with the community.
Shout out to the Little League team. They got their opening this weekend. I think a total of over 20 teams, right? If you get the number, yeah, over 20 teams from the minors all the way up to senior league. So shout out to the Little League for getting started and getting it back. Little League's been a big part of the community for probably 40 years, and for them to get back that's big news again.
Former Little League player, former Little League player here, and that is so. And again, I'm just going to repeat what Sean said. Saipan Baseball League couldn't be more happier for Saipan Little League Baseball. This is, I heard 10 teams in majors. I heard 3 teams in minors. I heard 6 teams in juniors, and I heard 3 teams in seniors. So they sound very organized. They sound like obviously there's a need for baseball on the island of the kids. So we can't be more excited for them and to see what our future looks like.
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Is everybody off already?